All right, let me switch gears then. You didn't love that idea. I knew you wouldn't. How about, we get to spring football and people are excited. They want to see their team play. And you get, the red-white game, the blue-white game, the orange-white game, whatever the combination may be. What happens? Everybody was excited about the FCS playing in the spring. How about instead of inter-squad scrimmage, how about if we do a big boys against the FCS in a spring football game? And you can control it in any shape, way, or form. But you now open this up where, hey, we're selling tickets. It's the opportunity for an FCS team to get a nice piece of change, and you see real competition. You open for that?
Where do I sign? Love it.
I've
been saying for years, spring games, people want football year-round. We've seen that. We've seen that with the XFL and the AFL and the Arena Football League and now FCS football in the spring. So if you're telling me that, hey, spring football games now become scrimmages or somewhat competitive games against FCS schools where, it's not just let's bring in, an alum from 20 years ago off the sideline to throw a halfback option. The games matter a little bit more. It adds a little bit of intrigue. You get to measure your team against, a team that's playing for something. I'm all for that. I love that. I think, again, those FBS games mean so much for the little guys. It is a moneymaker. So I don't want to see them go away totally, but it does detract from the regular season. So if you do it in the spring, I love that idea.
And you sell tickets like you would. People are ready to tailgate. They're ready to have a good time. They're ready to get back on college campus. The weather's normally okay. Again, just an idea. And as opposed to having that schedule that we just put up on the screen where everybody's jumping on somebody early September, how about we do this idea? Let's start the college football season earlier. Let's make sure it's not just a Labor Day kickoff. I've always thought if you start the season in the middle of August and then added additional open dates throughout the course of the season, people are ready to go. That's why I keep going back to the first statement about college basketball, in my opinion, has just kind of gotten swallowed by football because people just want it all the time. Well, then do it. Start the season a couple weeks earlier. You get rid of that FCS game. You can play that in the spring. And let's start the season and give these guys more open dates during the regular season to heal up, get refreshed, and down the road you go. Just an idea.
So you start in mid-August, which would, again, shorten the gap, right? Think about when the college calendar ends. We're usually looking, the end of June when the College World Series is over. So You've got July, which is a blank slate. Usually August, we might have a week 0 game, right, toward the end of August. Sometimes week 1 starts the very last weekend in August. But usually, Labor Day is kind of the traditional kickoff. You want to play football earlier, I'm all for it. I get antsy, around the 1st of August. All right, what's going on? Where's the college sports? Right. So bringing football on earlier, let's do it. And you mentioned the open dates. So if you're going to build open dates, can we build a little flex scheduling? Do we really need to schedule 15, 10 years out? Can we have maybe a little leeway? And, hey, you can just say ACC unknown versus Big Ten unknown or SEC unknown. And we're going to pair those matchups based on how the season progresses. And we're going to hold that date and have it be a mystery, have a little intrigue throughout the course of the season. Coastal Carolina and BYU showed us, didn't they? You can get together and make a game happen if you want to, and you can do it quickly.
Yeah, they did it midweek. And I got news for you.
Right.
Going from Provo, Utah to Conway, South Carolina, I don't believe that's a direct flight. I mean, so they literally got on the phone, cut the deal, and it was a tremendous football game on top of it that everybody and their brother watched. I know I mentioned that whole ACC Big Ten basketball challenge, and people have proposed the idea of doing that with conferences in football every year. I mean, why are you worrying about scheduling the 2032-2033 season? I mean, like yesterday, North Carolina and South Carolina announced that they're going to play in 28 and 29, which is great. It's really not that far off. But, some of these schedules are made so far out in advance. It would be kind of cool if you could put up conference versus conference and do like a rotating basis where those are the matchups, week 1, week 2, whatever you wanted to do. But I do think that, we're going through a different change in college athletics, Anish. And I do think you got to start thinking out of the box of the way you used to do it 20, 30 years ago. Hey, the mindset, the viewing habits, their cultures have totally changed, and you got to adapt to it. You have to.
You've got to keep it fresh. You've got to keep it interesting. Nobody watches sports the same way anymore. I don't know if you do. I mean, I watch sports with my friends now, and it's this. It's watching a game and then da-da-da-da-da. Oh, what's somebody saying on it on my phone? And then, hey, now I got to say something on my phone. We can't even totally immerse ourselves in the moments. So you're almost feeding this generation where, hey, look, blinking lights here. Hey, look, we're flashing something out here. And you kind of need that. And you kind of have to find a way to say, all right, how do we keep people engaged? How do we keep people pushing this thing forward? And if you have some open dates, some flex scheduling, you can do that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.